your poll of the day question, you can go online and vote. It's about Jeb Bush and Donald Trump. Is it wise for Jeb Bush to attack Donald Trump? Jeb Bush now going 100% after the Donald, both in English and Spanish, calling Donald Trump out on some of Donald Trump's old positions or current positions, or however you may feel about Donald Trump, but some of Donald Trump's past statements, hitting Donald Trump on issues like single-payer health care, which is accurate. Hitting Donald Trump on gun control, accurate. Hitting Donald Trump on supporting Democrats like Hillary Clinton, accurate. The problem for Jeb Bush, it's not the content, because the content is correct. The content of the ads and what he's been saying about Donald Trump, sure, absolutely. Okay. The problem is everyone else has done this against Donald Trump. Rick Perry did this. Rand Paul attacked Donald Trump. Scott Walker, well, he sort of kicked Donald Trump in the shin and then ran away. So he really didn't go fully after him. But this has happened before. Candidates have gone after Donald Trump, and it hasn't worked out well. Now, if you look at, and I like to do this in the morning brief, if you look at Jeb Bush, his polling numbers are horrendous. Remember, this was the guy who was supposed to be the front runner, or at least top three, and his poll numbers keep sagging, going lower and lower and lower and lower. He's still in the top five, so you give him credit for that. But he's the money guy. He's bringing in all the money. He's supposed to be the front runner. And his campaign is in a tailspin right now. 3 of his top fundraisers have abandoned the campaign. They've said, we're done, we're out. And Bush is, for whatever reason, shocked that he isn't being embraced by everybody. I don't know why. I don't know why he would be shocked by that. It's not like people were just clamoring for Jeb Bush to run for president. The only people clamoring for that was maybe the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Other than the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, nobody else was just saying, yes, Jeb, please run for president. So now he's taking on Donald Trump. And I don't have a problem with the content of that. I think questions should be asked about what Donald Trump, where he stands on issues, where he stood in the past, where he really stands now. As I said yesterday, I don't trust him completely. Does that mean if Donald Trump gets the nomination that I'm going to stay home? No. That's not what it means. It's just right now, Donald Trump's not my guy. He may eventually be. He may convince me. I'm leaving that door open. I'm not closing the door on Donald Trump. I may say, you know what? I believe him. He might be able to connect with me, and I might say, okay, yes, I believe Donald Trump. Don't have to agree with him on everything, but I believe Donald Trump feels this way now. Okay, I'm on board. Because if he is truly a conservative candidate, he is very dangerous. Dangerous in a good way. But if he's just up there feeding voters what they want to hear, like an entertainer can do, then he's dangerous for a whole nother situation. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We have time to let that play out and let it develop. But for Jeb Bush to attack Donald Trump, I don't think it's going to work. One of the things that that Jeb Bush has attacked Donald Trump on is immigration. Find me a Republican right now who is staunchly opposed to Donald Trump on immigration. They may not all think it's feasible, that every plan of Donald Trump's is feasible. I don't think it's feasible to kick everybody out of the country who's here illegally. That's going to be very hard to do. Now, once you start arresting people and find that they're here illegally, okay. But are you going to go door to door and ask people, hey, are you here legally? No, you're not going to do that. And no, I don't think anybody wants that to happen. Throwing the violent criminals, this Escarcega guy, throwing his ass out of the country? Absolutely. Book a ticket now. Throw him out. other violent criminals, throw them out. Get them out of here. But for Jeb Bush, he's trying to take on Donald Trump's entire immigration policy, and Jeb Bush is still running on this whole, it's an act of love. And in some cases, he's right. In some cases, Jeb Bush is right. I truly believe there are people who are trying to escape from Central America and even Mexico, parts of Mexico. They're trying to find a better life here in the United States. They've heard, hell, it's easy to get in. No one's going to send you back. Put into that situation, I think a lot of people would do the same thing. However, it's also a drain on the U.S. economy, period. It's a drain on resources. And along with the people who are just trying to make it in this world, a lot of bad people come here. A lot of really, really bad people come into this country. And they find it easy to do so. And then they get to escape into sanctuary cities where nothing is ever done. And that's why Americans are ticked. That's why Americans want something done about immigration. That's why, honestly, something has to be done about illegal immigration. Build a wall, whatever you need to do. Do it. Fix it. And I think that's where a lot of Americans are and a lot of Republicans are right now. Just fix it. Stop telling me it's always an act of love, because it's not. It's not always an act of love. Don't tell me that you have to, if you don't have a heart, or that if you don't approve of this, you don't have a heart. Don't tell me that. You got to do things the right way. You have to do things the legal way. You still broke the law. Even if it was an act of love, it is still breaking the law. There are people in the United States who go and rob 7-Elevens, who go and rob banks to feed their family. There are also people who rob banks and rob stores in order to support a drug habit. One is done out of an act of love. At least it would be, according to Jeb Bush. The other is done for a really, really bad reason, to support a drug habit. It is still illegal, and we don't allow it in the United States. You get punished in the United States if you rob a bank. Doesn't matter if you're trying to feed your family. You have to apply the same principle to immigration. You have to have and enforce laws. And yeah, I get it. People are fleeing some really, really bad things in Central America. Of course they are. And guess what? The guy who robs a bank, his family might have been thrown out of the house, or they're about to. They may not have any food. Desperate times, desperate measures. He's going to go rob a place, get $100. May not be a bank, maybe a store. The police aren't going to look at him and go, "Oh, you're doing this out of an act of love. I'm sorry. Okay, why don't you take the $100? All is forgiven. It wasn't really a law. You just made an undocumented withdrawal from the bank." Maybe we should call it that. Someone should go, no. Next time there's a bank robbery, Jody, how far you think this defense would get you? If you robbed a bank and you said, "I'm making an undocumented withdrawal," and this was an act of love, do you think that'd hold up in court?
I think as long as you use the phrase act of love, you might make it through.
Yeah, you think so? You think maybe we could have a sanctuary city after you go and rob the bank?
San Francisco.
Yeah. You just go there and you're like, "Hey, it's an act of love, guys. It's not, I did not do an illegal bank robbery. I made an undocumented withdrawal from the bank."
A love offering.
Yeah, love offering. You see how asinine that is? Apply that to the border, and that's what we have. And that's why people love what Donald Trump is saying. And that's why they hate what Jeb Bush is saying. And so for Jeb Bush to attack Donald Trump on immigration, he looks crazy. It may work in the general election, where Democrats and some independents want to hear the kumbaya, there are no borders, there are no illegal people, we're all people of the world. Maybe some people want to hear that during the general election. Republicans don't want to hear that. They want laws enforced. Let's take the break. If you're on hold, I want you to stay where you are, because I want to be fair, give you some time to sound off on this issue. We'll be right back here on the Chad Hasty Show, 790 KFYO. Well, let's head out to the phones and go to Gale, Texas, and Trent. You're on KFYO. Hello, Trent.
Hey, Chad. Thanks for having me on. You were talking about, this battle between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump. I really don't care. The real issue, though, is like you were talking about this Garcia out there in San Francisco. Don't deport him. No. He's a foreign hostile on American soil. He should be tried in a military tribunal and sentenced to death for killing an American citizen. I'm sorry. You come to America, you're not legally, you're not wanted here. You kill somebody in this country, you should not get any free privileges to go back to another country. No. You've committed an act of terror on American soil, in my opinion. Everybody that's talking about deporting these guys, no, they don't get the rights that we have. They don't have the American rights to go through a trial. No, it's ridiculous. They should be tried in a military tribunal and sentenced to death. You kill an American citizen that did nothing to you. This girl, she did nothing.
Yeah.
She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and got shot.
Yeah.
There was another one where there was a lady, she was raped and sodomized, and then murdered. Kill these people. They don't deserve to just go back to their own country so that they can try to come back into our country again, Chad.
That's a good point.
Because
look, if we don't change the law, if we don't do something about the border, look how many people this guy in San Francisco. He had been deported at least 2, maybe 3 times, and had come back into the country. So, just deporting people, unless you fix the problem and this is why Republicans right now are on board the Trump bandwagon, because, and I had a listener who brought it up yesterday, he will fix it. We believe he will fix it. That's what I keep hearing. People want it fixed.
I have no faith in Donald Trump in fixing the border.
That's
my opinion. No, I do not. I have no faith. Donald Trump is a turncoat, and he's been it from 99 to now. It's just back and forth with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just making waves because he's a Donald Trump wants the center of attention. That's my opinion on Donald Trump.
Well, I tend to agree with you.
I'm not saying I'm backing Jeb Bush. The only person I really truly back is probably Ted Cruz.
Right.
But in the same sense though is if you go through and say, look, you come to our country, you're not wanted here, you're illegal, and you commit a crime, you're not going to have the rights to a trial by jury. You're going to go to a military tribunal, and you're going to be treated as a foreign
hostile
person on our soil. Foreign hostile. That's the word I was looking for, Chad. Thank you. On our soil, you're not treated to any sort of luxuries that we have as American citizens. And you know what? You start doing that to these people, and the word will get out that you don't want to go to America and commit a crime. You don't want to go to America and kill somebody. You don't want to go to America trying to seek to sell drugs, to do these things. There will be a lot of people that will have a little more fear in coming to America and doing whatever the heck they want to do, because that's what's going on in this country. Not only the foreign hostiles that come here, but we have these Black Lives Matters that are running through the streets calling for cops to be shot and killed and put in body bags.
Yeah. Hey, Trent.
This is ridiculous.
Trent, I got to get going. Thanks for the call, man.
Thank you, Chad.
Appreciate it. Now, see, there wasn't a lot of love there. And it sounded, Jeb Bush would have been like, wait a minute. That's not an act of love.